Many entrepreneurs struggle after hiring their first set of employees. This struggle now is no longer struggle with business. It's no longer struggle with strategy. It is now struggling with people. The reason and the answer is very, very simple. Startup entrepreneurs, most solo entrepreneurs are good at working, not necessarily at leading a team to do the work. And there is a huge difference between these two. So, building a business requires a different mindset from running a team that will operate the business after the business has been built. So, let's talk about the mental and the emotional shift that is required to successfully move from being a solo entrepreneur to becoming an employer of labor and a team manager. Fifth shift that needs to happen is that you need to learn how to communicate your expectations clearly without any form of ambiguity. And this communication, we have 4 elements. Number 1 is explanation. You need to be able to, in clear terms, explain the task and the expected outcome, the processes, everything that is involved. You need to be able to explain it in clear terms. Then number 2 is documentation. There need to be a document where your employees can refer to if they forget what you explained. What we can call standard operating procedure, a document that contains your standard operating procedure, SOPs. There need to be a document where they can go back to once they are confused to find the answers that they need. Then number 3 is demonstration. Not just explaining it for them and documenting it for them, but you also need to be able to demonstrate it for them. Show them what it looks like, how to do it, and some of the mistakes they may encounter in the process of doing it. So you have to what? Demonstrate. And then the 4th component of communicating clearly is follow up. You don't just need to say, okay, I've told them what to do, and then you are gone, you have disappeared. You need to also be able to check back on them and follow them up, ask them questions. Is there any confusion? Is there anything they are finding difficult? That follow-up have to be there. If you're able to communicate your expectations clearly, results, accountability becomes very, very easy. Some of the employees that you will think are difficult, it's simply a problem of communication. It is simply stemming from your inability to communicate your expectations clearly. The 6th shift that needs to happen is that you need to stop measuring commitment by sacrifice. Now, as an entrepreneur, as a solo entrepreneur, you sacrifice your weekends, you sacrifice even vacations, you sacrifice your free period. Even when it is public holiday, you still work, you still go to the office. You cannot expect the same level of commitment from your employees. Because your employees are desirous of what we call work balance. Work balance means that they work for you, but they also have their own lives. Maybe they have their own spiritual activities to attend. They have their personal life to attend to. If they are married, they have a family to attend to. If they are not married, they have their personal affairs. They have other social activities. So apart from coming to work for you, your entire life is built around the business. You are the owner, you are the initiator, understandably so. But your employees are not you. So they have their lives. They have other things that they are doing. They have their social life. They have to go out with their friends and all that. So you don't expect them to put in the commitment as you would. And then they also want fair compensation. If they are to put in extra time, they expect you to also show some compensation for that extra time they have put in. If your employers are supposed to close by 3 p.m. and instead of 3 p.m. you hold them till 4 p.m. till 5 p.m., you are not just supposed to let them be like that, because that is going to be creating seeds of dissatisfaction. So if they have stayed over time, you also need to show appreciation and fair compensation for their time. You also have the responsibility to make sure that their salary structure is such that even if it is not competitive because you are just a startup, that it is something that is reasonable. They may not be concerned about the amount they are being paid, but they know that the business is not making so much money and you are paying them peanuts. Employees at Jumbo Resource Center here, when we started at our young age, they usually say the same thing. They say, "Sir, how do you even do it? How do you even pay us?" When we pay them, they are appreciative because at that young age, they know how much was coming in. So even though what they were being paid wasn't big, wasn't much, they were appreciative of it because they knew how much was coming in into the business. So fair compensation is very, very important. Expecting your employees to make the same amount of sacrifice that you will make as the owner of the business is going to create a lot of frustration for you. And not just the frustration, it will also worsen your relationship with your employees, because you feel they are not putting in enough, or they are not putting in enough energy, or they are not putting in enough commitments as you would. Remember, your employees can never put the amount of commitment that you put. You employ them to do a particular job, they have their job descriptions, hold them on the account of that, not on the account of extra effort. The second shift that needs to happen is that you need to become comfortable with delegation. And by delegation, we are not saying that you should dump the work or you should abandon your responsibility. No, delegation means assigning responsibility, monitoring the process, providing resources, and guaranteeing result without being the initiator or the creator of that result. So you let go of the tasks, you let go of the ups and downs, and then you focus on supporting your people, helping your team to achieve the desired result. The 8th point I will mention is preparing emotionally for what I will call the payroll responsibility. What is the payroll responsibility? The moment you employ people into your establishment, what you see is the people that come in every day and goes out. You need to understand that from that salary those people earn, they have responsibilities. They have to transport to work, they have to feed, they have families that depends on that salary. Maybe they also have a debt. So every time you delay their payment, you are putting them under intense financial pressure. And it is very, very critical and very, very important for you to understand and appreciate this, that your employees are not robots, and that from the salary they earn from you, the salary doesn't end with them. It doesn't end in their account. The moment it is paid into their account, they have a number of responsibilities that they have to fulfill from it. So before you delay their pay, before you delay their salary, you need to also put into consideration the inconveniences and the discomfort that you are about to throw them in, and the repercussion that we have on their efficiency and commitment to the job. So while it may look sensible and business-wise to want to delay your people's salary for a while, you need to understand that it has consequences. As they come in, once you promise them their salary will be paid on the 24th of every month, you have to make sure that on the 24th of every month, not later than that, that they are paid. Your priority have changed. Your priority now is no longer the business first, but the people in the business, because it is the people in the business that are going to build the business. So paying them is as good as paying yourself and paying the business, because your success as a person and the success of the business depends on their emotional and physical stability, and this you cannot afford to contribute to their instability in any form. Finally, the hardest part of employing of putting together your first team is not finding the right people. It is becoming the right leader. And this is very, very important, because you have to move from being the doer to becoming the supervisor. You have to move from being the initiator to becoming the guardian. And this transition is the difference between your success and your failure. Thank you very much for watching this video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.